Hello everybody, John here, and today on To The Garage I thought we'd give a little bit of love to Betsy the T4, and what we're going to look at specifically is how to treat permanently your black trim, and more specifically on this, the bumpers. So, as any of you will know who've ever had a car with unpainted bumpers, the black finish on these things does not last well. Yes, they're durable and are great for getting knocks and bangs and not looking too bad, because they start off looking bad. But if, like me, you want to keep them nice and black, then you'll have probably tried every type of treatment under the sun. So these have been dosed over the years with auto glims, vinyl and trim spray, back to black, which is a silicon based product. I've tried every trick in the book, and there are lots of tricks out there, and a lot of them really work well temporarily. You can rub oil into them, engine oil, lightly, liberally apply with a bit of sponge, and it will give you back the sheen and darken the bumpers for a little while, because it's the loss of the oils, the sort of natural ingredients in the plastic over time, that leaves this faded finish, as evidenced by the fact that the stuff that's out of the sunlight lower down and behind the number plate is still pretty good. There is a neat trick that genuinely does work for maybe 3 or 4 months. And that is, use a hairdryer and warm the bumper up gently, and you'll see the black start to come back. And what you're doing is you're bringing any residual oils that are still left inside the plastic, bringing them closer to the surface and giving it back its sheen. But of course, it'll dry out again, and then there's even less of that oil in there to keep the bumper from going crumbly and nasty. So if you want to make this go away permanently, there's only really a couple of options open to you. You could replace the bumper with a new bumper, and that's going to give you 6-7 years probably before it starts to look shabby again, but it will. It's the nature of the beast. You could rub the entire thing down, because most of these bumpers have a grained finish. High build primer, flat it off, smooth it off, paint it body coloured. Or you could do what I'm going to do, and that is to paint it properly with a textured finish paint, actually intended to do the job and replicate what this used to look like. And I've gone for this one. It's called Protex, and I've seen some really good reviews of this, and what I particularly liked about it is you can get several different finishes with this can. You can get a different finish by going close, different finish by going farther away, but more importantly, it actually comes with 2 different nozzles to give you a coarse or a fine grain finish. So that sounded quite good fun and quite interesting. So I bought myself a couple of cans of this. We're going to try it out. It's actually made for the job of coating this stuff. So it does actually adhere to plastic as long as it's nice and clean. So you don't necessarily need to do a lot of work with etching primers, plasticizers, all the rest of it. Its sole purpose really is for plastic bumpers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bumper off. You could definitely mask up, but they're easy to take off on a T4, so why wouldn't you? I'm going to take the bumper off, clean her up using alcohol. There's a few scuffs and scrapes which I'm going to just sand just to take any burrs and edges off, and then we're going to try out the Protex Pro XL textured coating, and we'll see how good it is. Next, we've got 2 stages of cleaning. First, clean it up, then do a little bit of sanding on some of the scuff marks that are on it, then give it another clean up just to make sure we're absolutely good for paint. And I'm just using that alcohol spray to remove anything that's on the surface of the bumper. It flashes off real fast, so warm day, gotta work quick. The alcohol spray will actually make the bumper look even worse, which is good. And the reason for that is any oils on the surface, usually car products, but all sorts of things, will help the plastic look black. As I remove anything that's on here, it's going to look even paler. Okay, so before anybody gets excited and says I'm not doing it right because, you know, I'm not using body shop techniques, I'm not a painter. I've got no aspirations to be a painter. This is very much a backyard have a go type job. So in terms of rubbing down, it's just these sorts of things, these little flakes where there's been a small scratch and it leaves a little bit of swarf hanging off the end. So going over the bumper, and I'm just using a sort of wet and dry sponge, and basically removing any high spots. For me, the beauty of using a textured finish is I can lose a lot of the damage. I don't want to make this bumper perfect. I want to make it more eye friendly. Okay, so as I said, this paint can give the textured finish that I want. It can also give different degrees of textured finish. So I've got a little bit of board out here with a smooth formicary type finish, so I can decide how coarse I'd like it to be. I've got the white nozzle on to start with. I'm just going to do a quick squirt. Right, oh, it's got an unusual smell. So I guess I'm about 8 inches away. Yeah, definite finish. Quite fine. It's very warm today, so it's flashing off quite quickly. Just do another one just to give me coverage. And while that's drying, I'm going to switch over to the red nozzle, which has a fan attachment on it. So that's giving a vertical fan. And we'll let that set up for a few minutes. I'll just show you what finish we've got and make a decision. Turns out grain is really difficult to photograph, but that's the white nozzle. And that's the red nozzle. And the red nozzle has given a much better grainy finish in my opinion. Plus, because of the fan effect, it gives a better coverage. So I'm going to go for the red nozzle and have a crack with it. I'm not going to try and get full coverage, just an even dusting on my first pass. It's a really nice warm day, so kind of ideal for doing this. Already I can see it's going to transform the colour. These are interesting. They look like something that's run on it, but it's, you know, it's not removable. It's obviously a resin or a cleaner or an acid or something, but it's permanently changed the colour for the front of the bumper there. May even have been a protectorant that's sat there in sunlight. Don't know, but whatever it is, it's permanent. Trick with aerosols, I'm no expert, but I've used plenty, is keep moving. So preferably be moving before you press the button, or press the button before you're even aiming at the panel. As soon as you get static, you get runs. And don't try to cover it in one. It does have a very distinct smell. I'm going to say marzipan. Somebody will tell me that's really bad news. Or marzipan means a particular chemical, but I don't know. I thought I'd got a thin patch, but it's a reflection. And that is that. Always turn your aerosols upside down and squirt them until just propellant comes out when you're finished. So that's the end of that nozzle. First impressions, very good coverage. I like the finish. This stuff, as an aerosol, I've got to say, it's one of the better ones I've used. Some of this might be hype, but it says HVLP, it's high volume, low pressure, style atomization, very little overspray, constant pressure. Yeah, does feel like that too. These guys have got a whole range of interesting products. I haven't been sponsored or given this, I bought it, but I wouldn't mind trying the rest of this stuff because so far that looks very good. We'll see how it dries. I don't even recognise it. Right. Wow. You got to agree, that's knocked some years off the old girl. Let's give you a close up on that finish. So it's going to be miles from perfect because I'm not a paint man, and we did it with aerosols, and you can see some of the marks still, but you know, this was a few hours work and a few pounds. I'm not going to spend every weekend applying various dressings to my bumper anymore. I'm not sponsored for doing this video. This is something I bought out of my own money, but I'm going to put a link to the spray I used in the description below the video. If you click the more, it'll come up there. So if you want to find out how much it costs where you are and try it out, you can do the same. But I think for a backyard job, that's pretty good. I'll definitely buy a couple more cans of that to keep in for doing trim. It's something that I'd consider using on the dashboard of my T2. I've got to get some more now because these grey bits high up on the T4 and the rear bumpers, and once I've done that, I'm going to want to do this, and I'm going to want to do the mirrors. So I think it's a success. I can't vouch, as I don't have a time machine, for how long they'll stay black or if there's going to be any peeling or anything like that, but initial reactions are very good, and I'll give you some more info when I get it. So if you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, then please subscribe. We're always tinkering around with T4s, T2s, Jaguar XK8, Jeep Cherokee, and just generally playing in the shed and doing experiments. Thanks very much for watching To The Garage.